why is it that the number of people who have registered for pension schemes in the country is so low at 15%? And what maybe is the industry not doing, and what should they do?
A lot of education that need to go in, and especially to the young people, by way of encouraging them to be able to save for retirement. Because when people save for retirement, like in the retirement benefit schemes, they actually benefit by way of getting a good return. Segregated funds like last year were able, a number of them made a return of about 17%. Insurance companies are yet to declare their return, but I would imagine also may be quite modestly good. So accumulation of wealth through savings and investments, so that one can be able to have a fallback. But number two is that pension schemes presents a unique opportunity, because those who save through pension schemes enjoy tax advantages. And the Kenya Revenue Authority has provided that for every 1,000 you contribute, you possibly will save on tax in a pension scheme that is registered by the RBA and Kenya Revenue Authority. You save on tax up to almost 300 shillings per month. And of course, the maximum tax deductible contributions per month is 20,000 per month. And so tax efficiency is critical by way when one is saving through a pension. But then the third pillar is that the legislative framework by the Retirement Benefits Authority is quite robust. That a lot of mechanisms to secure the member savings. As such, then there should be no worry when members save through pension. And then the last one is we've seen cases where someone retire, but look, they have no income. So they start depending on their children, or they have to look for a job to be able to sustain themselves. At that age 70, they are tired. The body can't support a lot of physical movements. And it's at that stage that it's actually really relevant to have some regular income through a pension scheme.
With 41% of the millennials preferring to put their money into savings rather than into pension schemes, so what could the pension industry do better to lure these young people into saving for their retirement instead of saving?
The outcome of the research is that millennials hold up to 41% hold the aspiration that they would like to save as much as they can. The question is how and where. So it presents a unique opportunity in the market in terms of product innovation to be able to tap into that aspiration and convert it. As such, I think at ENWEALTH Financial Services, we are looking at that space carefully with a view of developing financial products that can allow perhaps the member to be able to, while they are saving, they can also be able to meet certain priorities of life, so that it's not just waiting until age 60 or age 70 before they can start to enjoy their retirement savings.
So what's your advice? To save for investment or to save for retirement in a pension scheme?
You can diversify. A portion of your money you can save in your pension. Usually we encourage about 10% of your income regularly if you can put it through a pension, and other forms of savings. Then you can a member can invest either save through a SACCO, invest through the stock market, the unit trust. But we do encourage that pillar number one of your saving is pension, because it's well protected. It will help in terms of income replacement when one gets to retirement.
Has the pension industry considered taking in the products from the NSC, such as lending and borrowing of securities, maybe to make sure that pensioners get more from their savings?
Those are some of the opportunities at the moment that we'll be working jointly as industry experts and together with the regulator to look at legal means through which the law can enable perhaps formulation of similar products that encourage millennials to save and not just to wait until age 60 when they can be able to have their benefits. Yeah. We are guided by way of law in terms of how to invest, and indeed pension sector is a key player in the stock market. I would place it an average portfolio of a pension scheme has an exposure of around 25% in the stock market.
Have pension schemes considered investing pensioners' money elsewhere so that the pensioners could also be earning as they wait for their retirement instead of just saving just for their retirement?
Our view is that we need to have ICT-driven financial products that integrates behavioral attributes of the member who is saving, such that it's much more sustainable than just the flat way, the way we've been communicating, save, save, save.
Yeah.
But we need to, because then you see, it has to be linked to the emotions and reconciled to the realities of the behavior.
Sure.
Yes, and maybe look at a way of tapping into their behavior, the way they spend, and do a conversion that can enhance sustainable saving culture.
Employees feel that employers make it mandatory for them to save for retirement, while they could like to save in other avenues. Maybe what could be done to make sure that the two are in line in terms of savings?
I think we have a new crop of generation, and we possibly need to take a lot more time as employers to be able to understand the emerging needs of the millennials as regards to saving for retirement, and then formulate products that respond to their current needs. And that's where we are.
Well, we have been speaking with Simon Wafubwa, who is the CEO of ENWEALTH Investments, explaining to us much more on matters savings for retirement and why you should save, even as a millennial. You are watching Business Insights. My name is Nicholas Nduati.